Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. I'm just going to spin around at a place called Champ de Mars. Look at the view. Not too many people here. Spin me around again. I'm going to have to. I've got the Eiffel Tower there. I've got the sun in the background. So you can see my ugly mug. I hope you guys are well. I'm not going to see any comments, I don't think. I'm just looking for comments to see if they come, but let's go for live chat. I don't know if anybody's on board with me. I'm just going to do the player ratings today. Just trying to keep this tidy. Hey Adam, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're really well. Hope you're really well. We're here in Paris, and because we really don't know what's going to happen in the next few days, and we've got a lot of work to do here. We thought we'd bring the kids to the Eiffel Tower. We used to come here very regularly. I used to come with the kids sometimes, almost every Sunday morning. Hi GSJ, hope you're well. Shazeb. It's a great view, except that sun is really doing me in there. But if I put my head there, you can see wonderful Eiffel Tower. I mean, it's very hard to get close. A lot of the roads are blocked off now. I think there's various reasons why things are blocked off. Obviously, they don't want too many crowds because of COVID-19, and other reasons. It obviously become very security conscious in the last few years, and especially of late. Yeah, Blackpool Blu-ray, I'm all right, mate. We just rolled in. He's giving me some jip, but we set off at 10 AM this morning, so with all that driving, it's going to happen. Well, cheers, Adam. I'm not sure it's going to be much of a holiday. Got a lot of work to do over here for at least this week, I reckon. I think we're going to try and get some days away. All depends on what you'd like to do. Making sure no one gets too near me. I mean, obviously, the COVID-19 situation in France is very different to the UK. If I'm right, there were no new cases today and no new deaths announced today, so that's what my wife was telling me. So it's a much more what's the word? It's going to be much more safer than the UK, if nothing else, and it feels it's a different feel to it. You know, people are getting back to normal. My wife's in the city, still beautiful, and we've been driving around places like we went down past the Arc de Triomphe, Champs-Élysées, Avenue George V, Georges V. You're going past things like Louis Vuitton and all some of the shops down that neck of the woods, Givenchy and others. Yeah, it's nice. It is nice to be back. I can't remember the last time I was here. I'm not sure. If I was here in March, or I'm sure I've been here once this year, but I came last year, obviously, quite a lot. I think I've been here once this year, but it's hard to remember. You know, it's been so long in lockdown, and it does feel really different. Guys, should we get cracking? Should we do this before one of my lads says he needs to go to the loo? I mean, I just know my kids are going to end up doing that. Say, oh, we've been in the car, you know, for the last 3.5 hours. We need to go to the loo. So it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. So let's go through this. Obviously, we're talking about the another disappointing the 9th of the league season, and this time it was to a very good, well organised Southampton side who put their bodies on the line, give it their all, played out of their skins at the back, and the goalie had a great game, and the defenders too. They always seem to either, you know, the goalie made a save or the defenders blocked a shot. You can't take anything away from them, but you got to before we go actually into the player ratings, you've got to look at what happened yesterday. And I said this many times. Liverpool are winning games, and they're finding a way to get over the line. And they might not be playing that well, but they're finding these late goals, sometimes a bit of luck, bit of VAR, bit of dodgy, bit of diving, penalties. But most of the time, they've got a formula. They find a way to get a result. They find a way to win the game. And what have we done this season? And looking at some of the stats, we've had in the games we've lost, I think we've lost 9 and drawn 3. In the games we've lost, we've had like twice as many shots as the opposition, twice as much possession as the opposition, twice as many chances than the opposition, but they've scored probably twice as many goals as City have, and that's why. Yeah, obviously it's going to work like that if you've lost games. Hi Waleed, assalamu alaikum to you, Waleed. You like that Eiffel Tower? So yeah, it's, you know, I think they've scored twice as many goals as City, and it's what you'd expect. If you lost 9 games, then that's at least 9 goals that the other team have scored more than you. So it's just, that's just the way it is. So that's the difference. Liverpool have found a way, a formula. They're like, as I said, like a machine. Yes, Waleed, I'm in France. You can see the Eiffel Tower. You can see the Eiffel Tower behind me. So Liverpool have found a way, this formula to win games. They've found this way. City have played really well. I mean, even yesterday we played some gorgeous football at times, had so much possession, created so many chances. We're not finding a way to get over the line. And that's just been our season. So let's start. There's going to be some poor marks tonight, but let's start with Edison. I'm going to have to rip through this in about, quite quickly. Edison, you guys help me out. I can't remember him having to do much. I don't blame him in any way whatsoever for the goal. Having said that, I think once he got to the edge of the box, he could have carried on going. He might have made it. He probably wouldn't. But I'm loath to give him, to dock him marks for that. I don't remember him making any glaring errors. I do remember him making a wonderful pass. Yeah, mistakes happen, and as I said, I don't blame Edison at all for that. I blame Zinchenko, and he's going to get losing a couple of marks for his defending. So Edison, I'm going to give him a 6.5. What are you guys going to give Edison? I'm giving him a 6.5. Please get your comments in quick, get your thumbs up in quick, because I need to move on. Because what I don't want is, as sunset comes, people will arrive for the, and people will be coming here for the. Here it's just after 9. People, I can see them coming in with their picnics and stuff, because at 10 o'clock, well, once the sun goes down, every hour they have the flashing lights. So they've got a load of lights on the Eiffel Tower, and they flash for 5 minutes, so they twinkle. And the people, you can see them in the background, people are coming for that. So I don't want to be here when that happens. And I've got to go to my mother-in-law's to pick up my keys for my flat. So Edison, I've given him 6.5. Joao Cancelo, I think in the first half, JSG, I don't blame him for the goal. Cancelo gets to 7.5. I don't Blackpool Blu-ray. I thought he had a decent first half. First half of the first half, I thought he played quite well. Enterprising in attack, didn't have too much to do at the back. And then I do remember him making a big glaring error for me. And then I think all the defenders, they had patchy games where they played well at times, and then they made 1 or 2 mistakes. So I'm going to give him a 7. I'm going to give him a 7 because he'd made a couple of errors, but it's hard to tell. Some of these errors, is it because of, if you have so much pressure, if someone runs at you, I'm just going to give an example. If someone runs at you on a 1-to-1 10 times, someone runs at you on a 1-to-1 10 times. It doesn't matter how good you are. Eventually, they'll get past you. If you're a good attacker, even if you're Virgil van Dijk, yeah, you give Raheem Sterling the ball 10 times, he'll get past Virgil van Dijk at least once. It can happen. So you can make mistakes, and So I'm not going to blame him too much, because part of that is your midfield letting them come through. So Cancelo, for me, I'm going to give him a 7. Let's go into Garcia. Now, I thought Garcia once again had his moments. But once again, he made some mistakes as well. I mean, there was that pass back to Edison. Maybe Edison deserves a 7. I'm going to give Edison a 7, actually, because I just remembered when Garcia did a sloppy back pass and it was too short, and Edison came out and made that ball his. So I'm going to actually move Edison up to a 7. On the way down here, I was thinking, I'm going to give Edison a 7. That was the reason. He saved our biffer. He saved us then when it really mattered from that mistake from Garcia. So I'm going to give Garcia a 6 because he didn't have a terrible game. Don't get me wrong, he didn't have a terrible game. He made some mistakes and some other composed, reliable stuff. But once we were getting under a lot of pressure with our defence, at times. You know, as I said, people make mistakes, and it happens. Let's switch it around. Look at that view. Look at that, guys. It is a fantastic place. I love coming here. So I'm going to give Garcia. I'll give him a 6. I'll go along with that. Could do better, but for me, it's actually very, very good that he's had the experience of another tough game, a loss. You gotta take these on the chin, and he's played with Laporte again. So that's a positive for me. I'm going to give him a 6. He made a couple of mistakes as well, and it's a funny thing. I was talking to, I think, Bernard last night, and I said, if somebody else had made, if Mendy had made the mistakes that Laporte made, if Mendy had made the same mistakes, then people would be ripping into Mendy. And you know, Laporte, yes, he's got more credit in the bank, and he can get away with it. Don't know how long I'm here, JSG. We've got some paperwork to sort out. That might not happen till next week. Laporte gets 6.5 from Blackpool Blu-ray. I'm going to give him a 6. Same as Garcia. I mean, Laporte's a senior player. I'd want him to control it more at the back. Zinchenko, got to talk about Zinchenko now. I'm going to give Zinchenko a 4. For me, he made far too many mistakes. Obviously, he was major. It was him who was at fault for the goal. It's a very risky thing he did, a very silly thing I think that he did, and he got caught. And when you get caught, you know, sometimes you pay. And that time we paid big time. And I'm going to document at least a mark for that. And then there was another couple of sloppy passes, poor play from Zinchenko, poor control, letting the ball get away from him. So I'm going to give Zinchenko a 4. Harsh, but I think overall, I think it's fair. Moving on to Fernandinho. It was nice to see Fernandinho at the back. Very nice to see Fernandinho. Sorry, yeah, at DM rather than centre back. It was nice to see him there. Zinchenko gets 5.5. You can apologise as much as you want. You should not be doing stupid things. That's just in the brain. And the thing is, he does. It's a big mistake. Single game, you can't keep doing that. You know, accept that, but not every single game. Same as Mendy, you can't make big mistakes every single game. And if you're punished for them all, if you're unfortunate enough to be punished for them all, you know, we're going to win nothing of note going forwards. I think it's because he would look. Yeah, I agree with Akash, but you know, he's playing because we had to. Mendy. Fernandinho, I wouldn't be so harsh, Blackpool Blue. I'm going to give him a 6.5 because I think there were moments that I saw that he showed why he's better still in that position than Rodri. But look, he hasn't played much this season. You know, that sending off got him a 2-match. Well, he missed the last 2 games, 2-match ban, and he looks a bit rusty. He hasn't played there this season, so you know, I'm going to give him 6.5. I thought he did okay. In front of him, the 2 Silvers. David Silva, I thought, had an excellent game. Prodding and probing. Lots of good David Silva control. He's been really good since we've restarted. And I just think, you know, he could have done a little bit better at times with some chance of a shot and some passes. But I think 7 sounds reasonable. I'm half tempted to give him a 7.5. But look, we got beat. So let's go with this. Yeah, I'll go with that Blackpool Blue. I'll go with the 7 as well. After no worries, Danny. I've only got a few minutes left. We've just done David Silva. He's got a 7 from Blackpool Blue and a 7 from me. After David Silva, we're going to have Bernardo Silva. I think he works hard, industrious, and that's what you'd expect with Bernardo Silva. But I'm trying to remember anything, you know, wonderful creativity from him, and I don't really remember too much. Absolutely, Blackpool Blue needs a. I'm going to give Bernardo Silva a 6 because, you know, him working hard is a given. Danny gives him a 6.5. Working hard is a given. You have to do that. You have to earn the right to play football, and Bernardo earns the right, but he didn't play enough football for me. There wasn't that creativity that I wanted. Up front, Mahrez, I've got to say, he was disappointing for me. Sometimes I think he was just a bit too slow to pull the trigger. I don't think he did enough in the game. Although in the second half, you know, we were really on top at the beginning of that second half. So, I mean, I want to go as low as 5 GSGA. Blackpool really gives him 6.5. I think 6.5 is reasonable because that second half performance from the lads was very, very good indeed in the first 15-20 minutes. Guys, we're struggling with, obviously, you know, I'm on the old 4G or whatever G I can get here. Gabby Jesus, was that his 7th game without a goal, or 8th game without a goal? It's far too many, far too many. A top class striker wouldn't have a run like that, and he's had a longer run in the last 18 months. So it was about 15 or 16 games without a goal. Even, you know, all right, they're not completed games, but I'm going to give Gabby a 5.5 as well. Blackpool Blu-ray. A top striker would not go through this longer lean period, and Gabby Jesus is not going to be a top striker in my opinion. I think at best he's a squad player, maybe play out on the left, support another striker, but we do need another striker. Danny's given him a 5, and as Bernard said last night, we need another striker. You know, we can't, you know, Sergio's had 2 injuries this season where he's missing several games, and we can't rely on Gabby J. Gabby J is not the man. As I said yesterday, someone offers 80 million for him, bite their hands off. Raheem Sterling, I think he did okay. Second half, it was a lot more exciting. Obviously, we were really pressing them, and I'll give. I don't think we'll get Haaland. I keep saying that because of his agent is Mina Raiola. So I think Raheem Sterling did all right, but I wouldn't go as far as giving a massive mark. I'd give him 6.5. Blackpool Blu-ray's giving him a 6. It feels like he's in better form than he was before the lockdown. He's just got to keep doing that. After that, looking at a couple of the subs, Foden and KDB, obviously they changed the game themselves when they came well on top, and we lost that. Yeah, Danny's like that. Yeah. Play like that, I agree. So Foden was okay. KDB was abysmal. I said it last night, he was abysmal. And you can't go around making, you know, for a top class player, you can't go around making the number of mistakes he made in 35 minutes. I think you'll find at least 10 unforced errors or passes that were overhit, crosses that were underhit or overhit. It was really, for me, it was a really poor performance. And Dre said last night, you know, he didn't feel like he wanted to play. Oh, Blackpool, I don't see why he would sulk, because we've got so many games coming up, and that are so much more important. But you saw him in the first half, he was warming up just towards the end of the first half. And then it took a long time for him to, you know, come on. I mean, you know, nearly 50 minutes of the second half. Maybe he was hoping to come on at half time. But for me, I was disappointed with his performance. As I said, Dre was unhappy as well. Last night he said he seemed to not be interested in this game at all. And for that, I'm going to give KDB, I've got to give him I don't want to give him lower than 5, but you know, I'm going to give him a 4. I'm going to give him a 4 as well, because I just thought it was a really poor performance from KDB. You know, he's supposed to be the best player on the park, and he certainly didn't show that. KDB gets a 5 from Blackpool Blu-ray. Maybe I'm a bit harsher. Foden, I'll give Foden a 5.5. I don't think he, you know, contributed the way we were expecting, guys. 4 from KDB, 4 KDB from Danny. Well, there you go, guys. That's my our play ratings. I'm going to have to hit the road because my kids are waiting for me. My missus is waiting for me. Foden gets a 5.5 from Blackpool and 5 from Danny. Guys, look after yourself. That's my stream for the night. So what's happening tomorrow? It's Tuesday tomorrow. We've got a game on Wednesday. We've got Newcastle. I've got a game on against Newcastle, and hopefully I'm still trying to get a Newcastle fan. I couldn't get one for the FA Cup. You know, I'm going to try and get someone for this game on Wednesday. Yeah, my mother-in-law's left some food at the house. I've eaten plenty. I've eaten 3 burgers already today, guys. I think that's plenty, and a Magnum. So thanks very much, guys. Take care, and hopefully I will see you. Let me just work out how to turn this off. No worries, Danny. Walid. Yes, we will. I'll see you guys, hopefully, I'll see you guys tomorrow. But I'm just trying to work out, I haven't done this for so long, I'm trying to work out how to turn this off. I don't actually know how to turn this off now. Don't know how to turn this live stream off. Turn the camera around, you can have a look at the lovely pictures. I remember now to do it now. Press that X. Here we go, guys. See you tomorrow. See you around Blues.